Welcome to Craig's Gun Channel. We took the Smith & Wesson 5.7 out to the range. Let's see how it did.
We're at the range today with the Smith & Wesson 5.7. Gonna go ahead and take some shots and see how it does. So we had the Smith & Wesson 5.7, took it out to the range, took some shots with it. Well, I'll go ahead and start on this one. We'll go ahead and tell you what I think. Overall, I like it. It's a 5.7 pistol. It's got a gas-operated system, so it's not a blowback pistol like what most of them are that are out there, like the original FN, the Ruger, the Commando State Armory. All the other ones are just blowback. This actually is a locked breech, gas-operated, so lots of cool factor. Comes with a lot of nice touches. Got threaded barrel, optic cut, all set up out of the box. Adjustable sights, ambi controls. 22 round magazine. Lots of things to like. Shoots the 5.7 round, so I personally like the 5.7 round. I know there's a lot of debate whether or not it's a viable cartridge. It provides the same kinetic energy as a 9mm, but a much higher velocity. With the appropriate loads, it can defeat some body armors, things like that. That's why it was developed. Generally speaking, us civilians, we don't have access to those, those loads. But as far as just an overall general purpose cartridge, I think it's great. The only drawback with the 5.7 round, it is really expensive to shoot. But a lot of fun, hardly any recoil. So overall, I liked it. There were a couple downside items, but we'll do a round table first, see what everyone else thinks. So what do you think, Steve?
Oh, I tell you, I love the slide. I like the way it looks. It's kind of thin in there. You got the ports and, like you said,
speed holes.
Oh, excuse me.
Do you need
speed holes.
Oh yeah, speed holes.
Yeah. The cutaway for the optics. That's super cool. Really digging that. I would say the only drawback I didn't like is the handle. I didn't think it felt well at all. It's kind of thin, I guess.
It's an awkward grip.
Right. I didn't like it, but I thought it shot pretty good. It was very light recoil.
Yes.
I really like that. And like you say, the 5.7 is expensive, but it is a fun round to shoot. It was a lot of fun.
Okay. What do you think, Evan?
This was my maiden voyage in the 5.7. I'd never shot a 5.7 round before I picked up the Smith & Wesson Saturday. I liked the round by itself, and being my first exposure to the 5.7, a 5.7 pistol, I liked it from the get-go. This actual gun, but that was before we compared it to some other 5.7s on the range, so I got to feel a couple of the varying models. Mm-hmm. I will expound on what Steve said. The grip does not have a real nice sink in right there at the top of the grip where you're in between your thumb and your forefinger. Doesn't really grab the gun. It kind of feels like you're set back. It's very slender all the way through. The slide is slender. And for my old eyes, I like a little bit fatter slide, a fatter barrel to pull up and catch the sights. The gun, I give it about a 3.5. It's a great gun, shoots a great round. It is expensive. It is sexy, Steve. I'm not trying to move in on your girl, but
easy.
It's a sexy gun with the slide, all the cuts, the speed holes, threaded barrel. I just couldn't get over, after I shot the other ones with the grips, I couldn't get over how that fit in my hands. Yep. So 3.5 stars over here.
Yeah, what would you rate it at?
Probably 3.5. I would agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to go with 4 because I like the gas system. But some of the downsides. Well, first let's keep talking about some of the positive points. It does have the rear and front serrations on the slide. I mean, really, overall, it functions fine. Now, Evan does like the thinness of it, and actually the grip, it's a weird feeling grip. Now, some of that is, it has to be because the 5.7 round's long. But
They could have done some.
They could have done something a little
moving
bit.
and
Yeah.
to get it more ergonomic.
Yeah, it's like all of their design efforts went into the slide, and then it's like, okay, we're
Forget
done.
about the bottom.
You know, yeah, just make it gun shaped. And
It's got your standard Picatinny
Got your
underneath. It's
pick
got
rail
your,
underneath.
your
Yep.
cut for your red dot.
Yep. So lots of features. Now, we did have some function issues with this on the range. Now, we've pretty much narrowed it down to we think one of the magazines is bad. Because, well, quite honestly, Steve was loading one of the magazines, decided to pop a round out, and when he popped the round out, the rest of they didn't lift. You can just dump them out. And the failures that we were having would be indicative of a magazine with a slow fall loader. So
You can't fault the gun for that.
can't
Yeah,
fault the gun for that,
no.
but you can fault Smith and Wesson
That's
for
right.
quality control.
That's right.
So one of the other major things I didn't like about this, it comes with a mag loader, and this is a great mag loader as far as the design. It looks a little funky, but it actually works really good, and it's a good thing they include that, because this is the first pistol I've ever used where it came with a mag loader that I had to use the mag loader to load the magazine.
That's stiff, huh?
Yeah, you
It
get
was-
like 10 in with your
Yep.
with your finger,
You're
and,
not,
and
you're
that's
not
about
going
it.
further.
And 5.7 round, the way the magazine, it's kind of like a rifle round, so it's kind of like loading an AR. You just pop the round straight in, and then, with double stack, left to right. You'd think it'd be super simple, and the first 10 rounds are, then you have to become He-Man to,
Yeah.
keep those things down in there. And even using this, you had to really muscle it in,
Right.
which is way weird. So they made it shoot softer for people that are recoil conscious, I guess.
But forget about reloading.
But then for those people, if you got a recoil issue,
Yeah,
you're not going to be able to load it anyway.
No way.
So that part, I didn't really care for. So the only reason I'm giving it 4 instead of 3.5 is because the innovative features with that lock breech.
Couple things really quick. MSRP, street price, and then something I didn't mention that I liked about this after shooting the other 5.7s is the recoil, even though it's small for a 5.7, was noticeably
Yes.
less
Yeah.
on this because
Yes.
of the gas.
Right.
The recoil, the gas system on this does reduce the recoil.
does.
There's no question. We did a side by side with the regular blowback version and with the recoil with the gas system, and it was less recoil. Now you're starting off with low recoil, but it is still noticeably
yeah.
less. So that part there again, that's why I'm going ahead and going 4 stars. As far as the MSRP, so MSRP is $699, so the street price is not amazingly less. So the street price on these that I've been seeing them is around the $689, so probably $659. Probably about $50 less. They'll come down a little bit more, but not much. So compared to the original, the FN, the originator, those are still running $1,300. So
Yep.
it's a bargain compared to those. So I would say, if you like the gun, there isn't really anything inherently wrong with it.
No,
It's a nice gun. It's just
Pick it up, fit it in your hand,
right. I would say try
and see if that
see
bothers
if it
you or not.
right. See if the grip is going to work for you or not. And just be forewarned that magazines are a bear to load. And it comes with 2 magazines. They were both a bear to load, so it wasn't just like one magazine having issues causing all of it. They were, one magazine was having issues causing feeding problems. They were both difficult to load.
You've been warned.
So I guess we'll go ahead and wrap up with that. As always, if you like this type of content, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you're notified when new videos come out. If you like our content, we'd ask you to please share it with your friends. We're trying to get the algorithm to work for us. YouTube does not like this type of content. So please, feel free to share. We like your comments and feedback, so let us know that as well. So any other comments or anything on it?
Nope.
We'll go ahead and wrap up on this one. So as always, till next time, stay safe.
See ya.